Am I on to anyone?
Hi, Dave. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing fine.
That lady's told us that she's recording in progress a couple of times now.
Is that Jerry McCullough there? Hey, Jerry.
Jerry, you're muted.
Well, I'm gone. Well, I guess I'm gone.
What'd you say, Dave?
Hey,
How are you?
I'm fine. Who have I got?
Jerry.
I got you on here.
Well, I don't see anybody else.
Do what?
Want to make sure you could hear me. Welcome, everybody, and Happy New Year. Welcome to this January 11th meeting of the Rotary Club of West Jacksonville. If you would, please join me while Rahul Sharma leads us in our invocation, and Rob Frazier is going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thanks so much, President Sean. Great to be with you all here. Please, I ask that our Rotary brothers and sisters, please bow your heads at this time. Dear Lord, as the calendar turns and another new year begins, let us be thankful for our Rotary friends and the changes that our services can bring. Let us rise to the challenges given. Let us aim to give more to the cause. Let us continue to make the world better. And let us always have a fervor for Rotary that doesn't end. In your name we pray. Amen.
Please join me in reciting the pledge to the flag of our great constitutional republic. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Great, thank you both so much. Again, welcome everybody and Happy New Year. I hope everybody's holidays were wonderful. First, I want to thank everybody who attended the holiday party, the Christmas party before the holidays. I know I had a great time, and I hope everybody that attended did also. We had a great attendance, and so thank you all for being here, and thanks to Patty for making all the arrangements. I can't take any credit for that, so credit goes where credit is due. So thanks to Patty for making all those arrangements. Also, wanted to congratulate one of our SEC teams, our Georgia Bulldogs. So any of you that are Georgia fans, like Stephen, I wanted to congratulate our Georgia Bulldogs and their win in the national championship this week. So congratulations for our Georgia Bulldogs. So you heard me say that, and I'm not going to congratulate Georgia another time. So congratulations. So a couple of announcements today. Thanks to Kevin Hearn, we have a Westword every week, so please make sure you read it. And Kevin, very much appreciate all you do with that. There were a lot of dates in there this week, so I want to make sure you take the time to read that. One of the things that was in there this week was a report from the nominating committee. Past President Ike could not be here today, so on his behalf, I want to share with you the slate of officers as presented by the nominating committee. for the 23-24 Rotary year. As president, Dane Jensen, president-elect Tim Johnson, treasurer Raul Sharma, secretary Carter Rosenblum, sergeant at arms William Milne, director of club services Ken Baker, director of community services Vince Coyle, director international service Joe Springer, director of vocational service Lee Davis, director of youth service Judy Matheny, and then the one with the grin, House President. That's the slate as presented by the nominating committee chaired by past President Ike. I put the names of the committee in the Westward, and I'll butcher it if I try to name them here because I forgot to write them down again. But my thanks to the nominating committee, and I'll bring those names and share those with you next week. The vote on the slate will be held on February the 1st at our meeting on February the 1st. So nominations are open from now until February the 1st. The slate I just read out is a slate as put forward by the nominating committee, but nominations are accepted from the floor. Any questions about that? I think that's a stellar lineup, but as I said, nominations are open from the floor. So thank you, and my thanks to the nominating committee. Okay, a couple of events that are coming up that I wanted to make sure you saw in the Westward. There will be a membership summit for the district held on January the 28th down at Daytona State College, Palm Coast. That will be a morning event, so 8 to 12:30ish, and all are invited to attend, all are encouraged to attend. And then on February the 18th, there will be a Rotary Leadership Institute session held at Santa Fe College in Gainesville, and that will be from 7 a.m. to 3 or 3:30 p.m. And all are encouraged and welcome to attend that as well. Another thing that we have coming up, we've talked, you might remember when the district governor visited back in the fall, he challenged us to work on our membership numbers, and that a bottle of bourbon up here, if you'll recall. It was one that I kind of thought was a great little parting gift. And so the board had already talked about having a membership campaign. We're going to kick that off next week. So next week, when you come into the meeting, there will be in the middle of the table, some kind of receptacle, a bowl or whatever. And on it will be some cards for you to take a look at. We want this to be a strategic membership campaign where we have targeted specific job titles or vocations or career paths. And so when you see these cards, we want you to think about these type of positions and who you might know in those career paths, in those jobs that would make good Rotarians. We're not interested in just going out and getting numbers. We're looking for folks that would make good Rotarians. So we'll kick this off next week, and we invite you to participate in that and help us with that. All right, pop-ups. I believe Tom Snyder has a pop-up today.
Thank you, President Sean. Yes, my pop-up. Some of you read in Westward, but we have the big red bus coming for blood donations in 2 weeks, January 25th, Wednesday. It'll be here from about 11 o'clock to about 2:30, 2:45, something like that. There are sign-up sheets Patty has put out. Please sign up this week, then Patty can tally those up, and I'll get that information off to Scott Showalter and One Blood. And next week, you'll hear more of the same from Judy Matheny, who will pop up and remind you if you haven't signed up yet.
Great, thank you, Tom and Judy. So do you have anything? No? Ed Lombard, do you have a football?
So I want to congratulate Chris Berkey, third win this year. Congrats, Chris. We'll run in a couple of weeks.
notice my name hasn't been called out a single time when I perform. Am I like come in last every time? Not last, but next to last, pretty close. Okay, all right, well, you can't win at everything, right? Powerball maybe, huh?
Yeah.
That would be good. Okay, this week's Family of Rotary, Randy Thornton.
Thank you, President Sean. Catching up after the long break, a few birthdays. Michael Fish, January 9th. Judy Matheny, January 9th. Tomorrow, Joe Everly. Friday, Ken Baker. And next week will be Brandon Hillard. Of note, William Milne is returning to U.S. Bank as a senior loan officer. Does anybody else have anything to update for Family of Rotary? If not, I thought I'd start at least with a little medical humor. There was a mechanic who was removing the cylinder head from the motor of a Harley when a heart surgeon walked in. As the surgeon was waiting to speak to the service manager about his motorcycle, the mechanic looked over, goes, "Hey doc, can I ask you a question?" Surgeon, a little bit surprised, so sure, walks on over, and the mechanic wipes off his hands and asks the surgeon, say, "Hey doc, take a look at this engine. You know, I've got, just like you, I can open it up, I can take out the valves, fix them, put them in new, and when I'm done, this looks and works just as well as anything brand new. So how come I'm doing the same work you do and I'm making a pittance of your salary?" Well, the surgeon smiled and said, "Try doing it while the engine's running."
That's a good one. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Carter Rosenblum, Sergeant at Arms, going to introduce guests and visiting Rotarians, and then are we having a history moment?
Yeah, history moment.
Start the year out right.
Thank you, President Sean. It's good to see everybody back here again. Happy New Year to everyone. To start this out, how many people here have been to a Rotary convention? So quite a few people. My moment in Rotary history today might give you a little bit more knowledge about where the convention came from and what happened during that first convention. Does anybody know when the first Rotary convention was? It was held in 1910. Does anybody know where the first Rotary convention was? That's right. All right. Yes, it was held on August 15th, 16th, 17th, and 1910 in Chicago, Illinois. It was originally planned as a 3-day event. Paul Harris and Chess Perry were the driving force behind the convention. In a press conference, an overzealous Harris told reporters there would be 4,000 people at the conference. That was a little exaggerated because Rotary at the time only had 1,800 people in the organization. And of those 1,800 people, only 65 or roughly 65 members showed up to the convention. But nonetheless, they had a productive convention. What I found interesting was a lot of the stuff that I've learned in this history is kind of an ongoing theme, but it established what essentially Rotary is about today. We haven't changed all that much since the the first order of business was to nominate and elect officers responsible for the convention. They nominated Chess Perry and then J.E. Fitz Wilson as the secretary and Warner Hickey. The next order of business, they decided that they should charge each organization $1 per member to fund the national association that they were trying to create. That came out to $1,800 over the course of that year, which was sort of a problem because it really didn't give them any money to fund any officers who would be in charge of that national association, but they somehow sort of figured it out. And they also waived the idea of charging an assessment for new starting Rotary groups. they decided it would be better for the goodwill and harmony of the group. The next on the topic was allowing women into Rotary. I'm pretty sure you all know how that one went. There was a headline in the Chicago Daily Tribune that read, "No women in Rotary." It would be 77 years later when the Supreme Court made the decision to allow women. So that didn't happen for the next few conventions. Next was a very controversial decision, which is something Paul Harris had always promoted and had a lot of pushback, was what direction was Rotary going to go into? Are we going to be a community service oriented group, or were we going to be a business relations group? Rotary initially started as a way to promote your business and work with fellow-minded people in your community. Paul Harris thought it would be much better for the growth of the group to be more service-oriented.
Thank you for asking. 36%, more than 1 out of 3, are first-generation college students. What does that mean? They are the very first in their immediate family to have a college degree. They have no one in their immediate family, parents, siblings, that they can go to ask questions about curriculum, career pathways, challenges of early adulthood, mental health issues. Who are their families? UNF is there. And we do not take that responsibility lightly at all. And we keep always reminding ourselves. And that's why we do everything we can, and we treat every student as son, daughter, nephew, niece, neighbor. Just to give you an idea, we talked about retention, the importance of retention. We are dealing now, speaking to Dr., what we call the COVID generation. They came to us after spending a couple of years behind Zoom. So they lack many of the skills necessary to be successful. We work with them. Up to few months or few weeks before Christmas, we look at retention from fall to spring. The retention we measure also is from fall to fall. But you cannot measure from fall to fall if you're not retaining them from fall to spring, right? You're not coming back after Christmas. We were at about 75% a few weeks ago. We completely changed the strategy. Every student who did not register will receive a call from a professor, department chair, dean. If that didn't work, the president will call and will send a message. We went from about 75 to almost 95%. Every student's matter. That's how we're going to do it. That's what we will do. And that even hope I answered your question.
Doctor, thank you.
Of course.
Thank you for being here. Little side note, daughter-in-law just graduated from CRNA school, certified registered nurse anesthetist school. 3 years, an outstanding program, had multiple job offers made and applied.
Great, very good.
Great graduation. So,
When did she graduate?
just last month.
December. Yeah, I remember her.
Yeah.
No. We have others who graduated here, right? Yes.
Great program.
Thank you.
Wonderful stuff. My question to you, with your background, especially on your successes down South Florida, was there one reason why you wanted to come to UNF or multiple reasons?
That's great. Thank you. Thank you. This was, and honestly, we did not have any desire to move out of Tampa Bay. That was our home. USF wanted me to stay there and look for other things at USF. First of all, I think UNF hired great headhunters. They insisted and kept insisting. But when they insisted, I said, you know what? I owe it to myself, my family, to look at this. And I always look for the fit. That's always, for any job search, and this is what I always tell my students is, for every job move, they are the push forces and the pull forces. The push forces will push you out of your current job or current positions, and the pull forces will attract you to a new job. I can assure you the push forces were not there. So what really attracted me are a few things. First of all, solid foundation, UNF. The solid foundations are coming from great faculty and staff, great culture, very supportive community. That's what we do. But in addition to that, so many things are yet to be done because we're young. We celebrated our 50th anniversary. So for me, who really does not like status quo, and I want to make a difference with my team. So that was the ideal things. And honestly, so far, I think this is probably one of the best moves, if not the best career moves I've made. We've been just thrilled, the family is very happy, and we've been thrilled. Thank you.
Well, welcome to Jacksonville.
Thank you.
Here. I am a graduate MBA program there many years ago. In fact, the parking lot wasn't even paid. Shady tar paper or something.
And Jeff, well, earlier I checked your grades. You did really good. Yes, you did good.
Back in those many years ago, there were only about 4 or 5 colleges and limited degrees they were given.
Yes.
Here might be interested to know kind of what all the programs that it has evolved into over this many years. It's amazing how many opportunities there are.
Thank you, Jeff, and we're very proud of you. Did my developing team ask you for money or not yet? But no, seriousness, thank you. This is what a lot of people, and this is part of telling our story, because a lot of people don't know what UNF has to offer. You know, short of probably a law school and MD medical school, you name it, we have it. And we have it at the highest level with the best faculty in the country. And we do it with small class sizes, with the attention, almost personalized attention that I was talking. But please, you want to tour, you want to come and know about UNF, just let me know. We'll arrange for a tour. Want to attend some of our athletic events, and we team up also with the World Affairs Council, where we invite just the best speakers from all over the world. There's so many things always happening at UNF. If you have not been to campus, please just take a drive or walk. It's probably one of the most beautiful, one of the most beautiful campuses out there. So if you have son, daughter, nephew, nieces, grandson, granddaughter interested, talk to me. We'll make sure that they get the VIP tour. They're good students, send them to us. They're not that good, send them to you after.
Yes, we got time for one more question.
See, that's my colleague at UF. He did not like the job.
Welcome also to Jacksonville.
If you were to have more resources, particularly I'm thinking of state resources, what would be your number one place where you'd invest in?
Thank you. Great question. Is really make sure we fortify, solidify our existing infrastructure. Let me give you an example. Now, if a student wants to see a mental health counselor, and we all know how big of a problem because of the pandemic and other problems, they have to wait a few weeks. They want to see an advisor, they have to wait for a few weeks. We don't want to turn into a university where our students are numbers and we have classes of 500, 600, 700. We want to keep it small. So we want to make sure that we solidify our existing infrastructure, human infrastructure, physical infrastructure first, and then set up our university for strategic growth so that we can reach over the years the 30,000 that we can do now. Great question.
kind of tied into that question, you mentioned Zoom. I would think with the cost of brick and mortar, get the experience of going to the college, but do you see the university reaching out for Zoom type, internet type classes? Is that a challenge or?
Yeah, it really is, because it's almost unfortunate. First of all, research have shown without any hesitation that learning is much better in face-to-face. There's no doubt. It is true that students now, if we open the same class, 2 sections, one online section and one face-to-face section, which one you think will
You're going to
will be closed and completely solved out in 20 minutes approximately? Which one? When we have a section that is face-to-face or online, what do you think our faculty, which one they want to teach? No. They want to teach the online. It's much easier. They can teach in their pajamas while they cannot do it. So we really need to work hard, get the life back to campus. We still offer online courses because there are some students who are working, cannot, but we are not, and we will not turn to an online course. That's what not our community.
Oh, yeah, I got my MBA. But the parking lot is paid.
That's good. That's good. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Y'all, please help me thank Dr. And I would share with you that while only one of our 7 areas of focus specifically mentions education, Rotarians feel strongly that education is the backbone of all the things that we focus on, and that it does lead to peace and conflict resolution and to maternal health and child health and water and sanitation and all that. So thank you so much for what you do and for leading our great institution here in the city of Jacksonville. So thank you so much. And thanks for being here today. And yay, we scored one of all the other clubs in town. So, thank you also to Mike, Raul, Rob, Carter, Randy, Joe, Patty, and Stu for all you did to make today's meeting possible and successful. Thank you to all of you for being here. It's great to see you all again. I missed you. So thanks for being here and Happy New Year. I'm sorry, did I miss something? No? Okay. All right, so Tom Schneider is going to lead us in the 4-way test, right, Tom? And as we're standing, I'm going to remind you to make sure you sign up for the blood drive. Sign-up sheets are on the table. Tom?
Thank you. Thanks. And the things we think, say, or do first.
This is the truth. Prepare to all concerned. Chips. All concerned.
Thank you, Tom. And so I'll close with this. Education is the great engine of personal development. It is through education that the daughter of a peasant can become a doctor, that the son of a mine worker can become the head of the mine, that a child of a farm worker can become president of a great nation. Nelson Mandela. Y'all have a great week and imagine Rotary. I'll mess it up if I try to turn it off.
Thank you for mentioning such a reprehensible congratulations.